You might know this is a Thompson Twins song. So this is my life. Am I off key? Am I singing in the key of E again? So this is my life. Am I in tune even with myself? Stop. I work on the front lines. It's a great video, but sometimes I feel like I'm being lazy. I should be creating pictures with my words. This is the job of a poet or a prophetess, okay? And if I rely on graphics or other people's endeavors, then I am a lackluster poet/prophetess. So I prefer to use my voice alone. It's like the radio, the old radio days, right? Where you heard the story and you created pictures in your own mind based on what other people said. That's what I sincerely endeavor to do, is that you would engage with what I'm saying. I'm not giving you pictures to replace perhaps your better pictures or your better visuals, or I'm not going to give you ideas to replace your better ideas. I am only a conduit. Yes, I'm a catalyst. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know, was there ever a person who really was more clueless than I was in my youth? Because my parents were the recipients and beneficiaries of a great deal of good breaks, being white and religious and educated, and they blew it all. I mean, they just, with poor decision making. I mean, just like I'm impoverished, and I'm taking care of one of them now. The other one died, and I'm not a strong person. Everybody knows I'm not strong. My mother was strong intellectually. My father was strong in terms of just being strong. I'm a broken individual. So this is my life. Breaking rocks. Have you seen the Thompson Twins video? You take me up. Whoa. You need to watch the Thompson Twins, all right? Otherwise, this whole thing might not make as much sense as it ought to. It ought to make a little bit of sense, at least to anybody. But if you see that video, I should have capitalized me. I'm sorry. My better self was not present when I typed up the title. I feel lowly. So this is my life, day in, day out. Oh, I was a terribly messy child. So messy, like, I'm always angry. One of my kids likes Horrid Henry. Well, whatever, he's a boy. If I were a boy, I might have liked Horrid Henry at that age, too, if it were around. But I'm too old, really, for a Strawberry Shortcake and the Cabbage Patch Kids. I mean, in 6th grade, that's when the Cabbage Patch Kids craze hit. And everybody in my little small town, junior high school, middle school, want to buy a Cabbage Patch Kid because those ugly dolls were so effing expensive. Excuse me, I have to pause this. Excuse me. Oh, you're not getting it back? All right. I'm having an argument with a 7-year-old. I'm sorry. It's terrible. I'm sorry, I have to pause this again. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, I know I did, honey. All right, let's stop arguing, please. No, I'm arguing with a 7-year-old, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You see why I'm such a meek and gentle person? I mean, you can't get that angry with a 7-year-old, right? But you want to help them to find their better selves, right? That was another message of mine. So I really hated babysitting. My brother was born when I was 9, almost 10 years old. Okay, he was born in January of 1982, and I turned 10 in October of 1982. So I was only 9 when he was born. I liked him. In the beginning, I liked him. Then I realized that I was the built-in babysitter. and my brother was messy, and that I didn't like his tantrums, and that he was a 3-year-old little boy, fast forward, and I mean, I could have just 3-year-old little boys are very, very obnoxious human beings. I don't care if you come from good family, they are very difficult to deal with. And he and I got into some spats. I mean, we really did. And then I felt bad about it because I'm the big sister. I'm supposed to be better than this. He just, he pulled my lever. I mean, he was just so obnoxious. He would squall, and I almost felt like I was turning into Charles Manson. Kill, kill, kill. But I never did kill my brother. Did I? I mean, I took good care of him, and I liked him, and later on, he told people, well, she was abusive. Well, listen, we were shuttled off to like 57 different babysitters, and some of those babysitters were hillbillies that would slap you. They would bitch slap you. I remember my brother, he was like 3 months old, and I had a babysitter that I liked, but she slapped him when he wasn't even old enough to crawl because he wouldn't eat his baby food. I mean, this is the kind of example that I had, and I had to work very, very much to control my temper. I was afraid I was going to kill one of my kids because I had anger and I didn't know how to control it. When I was younger, I was afraid that so I was a little bit too, I manhandled my oldest kids. I mean, I have to admit that. I manhandled them because, let me tell you, one of my earliest memories, which really isn't a memory, but it all makes sense now, is of my father telling me, "Shut the fuck up," when I was a little baby squalling in my crib. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't pick up a baby and comfort a baby. He wanted to dash my brains against rocks. But instead he said, "Shut the fuck up." So I'm sure I'm scarred for life, but no harm, no foul, huh, my little sister's legs? As Carol Burnett famously said, and famously? I love Carol Burnett, I'm sorry. Why did I say it like that? I shouldn't have tried. We all do the best we can, and turns out my father's parents were very Hungarian in terms of their child-rearing abilities and philosophy. I mean, they were very proto-European. They were very Cro-Magnon. And I'm lucky that I got out of childhood alive, actually. Yeah, so, I try not to get angry anymore. Last night, my kids spilled hot chocolate on the couch, and I hadn't been here for a few days, and I didn't feel guilty about it all. When I said, "You shouldn't have done that, you were so clumsy," but, I mean, he was clumsy. Why did he do that? I mean, I don't feel guilty. I mean, it's annoying. I don't know. I didn't say he was a terrible person, and then the storm passed. He was angry at me, but I don't know, folks. Here we are. Really, what's the point of this whole thing is that we are in a society where I will not march in any kind of pro-Trump march, excuse me. Any more than I'd like to wear a "kick me" sign on my ass. Like, people used to paste "kick me" signs on people's butts in junior high in Loudonville when they didn't like them. I mean, it was a horrible, unfriendly environment. And, I got a "kick me" sign pasted on my ass. Well, I'm not going to go out marching, okay? I'm sitting down. Thank you. Goodbye.